welcome to the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. I'm Jared, and with me is Holly, and we're doing a review of Floriferous from Pencil First Games, and we've played the original game and now the Pocket Edition. The real only difference there is that the larger cards from the main game are now all small. So it fits in this handy little box, which is very tiny, very transportable, travel friendly, nice to put into a suitcase or even just a backpack. Take it with you. You can play 1 to 4 players, and it doesn't take very long. Maybe 20 minutes or less. I mean, the teach might take as long as playing it.
Yeah, it might actually.
So how does this game play, and what do we think about it? Well, let's take a look. We've got the cards, all good quality, right? If you've seen the unboxing. Now, we tried it with 2 players and 3 players, and I think 3 tends to be the sweet spot. I really like the artwork, first of all. And you'll see that from the unboxing video as well. The artwork on this is very nice. It's like watercolor, with flowers and everything. And there's scoring cards that have unique kind of artwork on it too. And then there's the sculpture cards that you collect, and you score points based on however many you've collected versus everyone else. But what kind of game is this? If you've never played before, you're going to see all these flower cards with symbols on them that kind of help you see what kind of flower it is and what color it is for the people who are colorblind. It also may have a kind of insect icon on it, and all of this is going to be collected throughout the game by each player to form sets of different, card collections. And in addition to collecting those, flower cards and sculpture cards, you're also able to collect the scoring cards, which are always the bottom row of the grid. So on your turn, essentially you move your pawn to one of the cards in the next column, taking the card and then leaving your pawn there for the next round. And from top to bottom, wherever people's pawns end up, that becomes the new turn order for the next round of taking cards. So essentially you just kind of go taking cards from the next column until all those, everyone's taken something from each column. And then that would be considered a day. At the end of that day, there's a special scoring where you can place one of your wooden flower tokens on one of the 3 randomly placed out at the beginning bonus card achievements and goals. And then you get more points for having claimed any of those in the first day versus the second day, and then least amount of points for completing those in the third day.
And it's things like having certain shapes of flowers, certain bugs, different kinds of bugs that it's indicated at the top of the card.
And I know each one needs at least 3 different cards to complete it. So even if you have one card that has multiple, things that satisfy a card, that's not allowed. You still have to have 3 cards that satisfy, a given requirement. But the good thing is you don't have to pay anything, because the cards that you collect throughout the game will be attributable to anything, that you're trying to score. So it could have multiple uses. It's a very relaxing game. Like, it's not very high strung or, high pressure at all.
Yeah.
It's very low key. It's very cute. It definitely kind of, I think imitates the theme of just walking through a garden and picking up what you want to put into your own garden, kind of like going to the outdoor garden stores. I mean, what do you call those? Like, just garden shops?
Are you talking about nurseries?
Yeah, that's the one. I'm trying, like, what's the nursery called? Yes, it's like walking through a nursery and seeing the sculptures, seeing the flowers.
But you can't, like, pick up whatever you want there and just take it. That's not
okay.
allowed.
Well, you have to pay. I get that. That part of it is not in this game. But assuming maybe your great-grandmother had a huge garden in her backyard, and she's like, bring you and your friends and go through and collect stuff for your own garden. That's what you're doing. And let's see, like most everything in this game is scored at the end. There are some another scoring mechanism through the stones, which are placed on certain cards, and that's given by player count on the grid chart that is used for your player count. But certain cards that have stones, if you take that card, you also get the stone, and whoever has the most stones, gets points. Or a bonus. So, yeah, you've got your 4 color of pieces: green, yellow, pink, and blue.
They put some attention into the detail and
Yeah, and even though, like,
the
for
little
instance,
wooden pieces,
the
they're
wooden
really
flower
cute.
shapes are similar. They do have different icons on the flowers themselves to distinguish color.
Mm-hmm.
And your pawn, even though they're different colors, they have different subtle
Yeah.
shapes, so they're not exactly the same. They kind of remind me of like chess pieces a little bit, like
I thought
pawns
that
and
too.
bishops a little bit. But that's something to distinguish your color. So no matter what colorblind friends you have, you can always play this, and it is very light. So, what are your thoughts on playing through it a couple times and just overall? What are your think? What are
I
you
mean, it's
thinking?
pretty easy to learn. I agree with you. It probably takes about as long to learn as it does to play. It has very cute components. I like little stuff. Um, it's a good game to take a break with. Just sit back and relax and let's do something easy.
Yeah, no stress that you want to get something on the table, but you don't really want to think too hard about it or
Mm-hmm.
take too long even. Maybe while your food is cooking, you might set it on the table and say, "Hey, why don't we sit down while we're waiting for, you know, something to heat up?" I
Yeah,
don't know. It's that fast and that
very
easy to
fast.
get played, especially once you've played once. Like it's just you don't have to even learn anymore.
Yeah,
It's
you really don't.
it's
We
pretty
could set it
straightforward.
up and I could play it right
Yeah.
now.
So I think there's a lot of great benefits to that. However, what negatives do you have, if you have any, on
It
Floriferous?
might be too quick.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to it.
Okay.
I like stuff that's a little more involved.
I agree. I feel like this fits a certain niche for
Yeah.
sure. Not a lot of games can claim a lot of what this does. The transportability, the ease of play, the quickness of play. It hits a lot of cool, unique buttons there.
This
But
is like we've ordered food and we're waiting for the waitress to bring it.
yeah, pretty much. Um, it's not. It's more like an appetizer than a full meal.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk about games like food, like
Oh, I was meaning like at a restaurant. You take it
I
with you
get
to
it.
a restaurant,
But now I'm thinking that's a great analogy.
I led you on.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm train of thought now. I'm like, yeah, if this were
Yeah,
food
totally
in your
though.
game day, this would be the appetizer, just like a teaser to the main event.
This is where you're like, okay, guys, let's get our thinking caps on. We're
Yeah,
gonna sit
these
down
are the
and
mozzarella sticks
play
and your
this right quick.
your drinks.
Yeah.
And this is before you've ordered your main course.
Yeah.
Like you've got your drinks and maybe some like French fries and something. You're
Yeah.
like, all right,
Waiting on the steak.
this is Floriferous. So there's nothing like bad about
yeah,
the
there's
game.
nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing really to criticize other than there's not a whole lot to it. So good or bad, that's what it is. It's a very straightforward, small box, straightforward game. Um, so I think, I'm not sure what the price is on this game, but given that it comes in a pocket edition as well, I can't imagine that it would be too expensive. So if you're looking to have some small box games in your collection, this would be a great one to have. It's not one that, is going to, I don't know, change the world or anything, but it's certainly fun and worth playing. And
I wouldn't say it would be good for younger kids. While it is easy, it's not that easy to learn, and
yeah. So let me see what they say on the back for age range. It recommends 14 and up.
yeah.
I could see that. So like you could probably get away with like a 11-year-old or so, but even still, I understand why they went with 14 and up. It's not like there's anything inappropriate, but the other thing I'll mention about the Pocket Edition is the rule book is extremely tiny, and it's essentially just a miniature version of the main rule book from the original game. So, um, yeah, it's just really tiny text. You might want to get a PDF and read the rules on your computer if you don't have the original copy, because it is going to strain your eyes. But I mean, there's very few criticisms that I have on the game as a whole, other than it's just there's not a lot of meat to it. It's just pretty straightforward. So if that's the kind of game you're looking for, I think you'll enjoy it. There's nothing, negative really to speak against the game, and we had a good time with it. We played it a few different times. And the people we played with enjoyed it as well. Just to the extent that you can enjoy a 15-minute game. So that's all I have to say, really, about Floriferous. So thanks for watching our review, and stay tuned for more review videos of games on our channel, including more Pencil First Games reviews coming up soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. I've been Jared.
I'm Holly.
See you next time.